Okay, so we are looking at ear training and build a riff. That's the name of this workshop we're looking at. Band members play on primary instrument, or bands can alternate, so you can kind of mix it up a little bit. Switching instruments obviously will work better with more advanced musicians. The objective of Build a Riff is for students to use their ears to figure out a riff and then transition to a series of chord changes. The riff and chord changes will ultimately function as a simple instrumental song. Drummers, they're going to build their own drum beat as the band builds the riff, and they're going to just add, they're just going to kind of build incrementally as the band does it. But the instructor, the band coach, will want to help them with this. And then drummers can learn the riff on the keyboards. It's a really good way to take pressure off of, or it's a really good way for the band coach to take pressure off themselves so they can really focus on getting the notes, because obviously the drummer is going to have an easier time picking up on what's going on. But putting the drummer on keys is a really good idea. Okay, so here's a summary of how this works. You're going to create a 1-bar riff, the band coach, and then you're going to do it 2 beats at a time. You're going to repeat the riff, but then shorten the riff to turn it into a 2-bar riff, and I'll explain that more once we get there. And then we're going to add chord changes for the second section. And you always have the option to expand the riff. So the summary of what we're doing is we're going to build a riff, and then we're going to add chord changes to it to even simplify it more. Okay, so part 1, building the riff. You want to create a simple riff with 2 to 4 notes. The example below uses the notes from the E minor scale. Feel free to come up with your own scale and riff. Try using the example below for your first class. So yeah, try this one just to get comfortable with it. So complete beginners should start here, where it says start here. Teach the band the 2 to 4 notes that you'll use for the riff. So example, this is E, G, and A. So you'll go, all right, I want to hear, you get your guitars. Let me hear all the guitarists play E. All right, keyboards, let me hear your E. Bass player, let me hear your E. Good. Now you're going to go to your 3rd fret, or G. So let me hear you guys go to your 3rd fret on your E string, and that's G. And that's why I always like to teach. I always like to say, go to your 3rd fret. So anyone can get what that is. You can even say, go to your 3rd line or your 3rd fret. That note's called G. And then I'd call it out as a question. Hey, what's the name of the 3rd fret on the E string? Right, it's G. So let me hear everybody play G now, the 3rd fret. Good. Keyboards, now go over to the keys and you press down G so they see where G is. Good. Let me hear you guys play E again. Let me hear you play G. Good. Now we're going to go to the 5th fret, or the next dot on your E string, and that is A. Good. Let me hear you guys play your 3rd fret. What's the name of that note? Good, G. And what's the name of the new note we learned? Right, that's A. Good. I'm gonna call out a note, and I want to hear everyone in the band play it. Let me hear E one time. Up, E is the first note. Let's hear E, open string. Let me hear your 3rd fret. Who can tell me the name of that note? Good, that's G. Let me hear you guys play E again. All right, let me hear you play A. A is the 5th fret. What's the name of the 3rd fret? Good, G. What's the name of the 5th fret? So I'm doing a lot of this just sort of back and forth, call and response. By this point, the kids probably have not only the names of the notes, but they have the sounds in their head. Now, number 2, you're going to create a simple scale pattern with these notes. You're going to have the band all play in unison. This allows everyone just to get familiar with the sounds. So this example is E for a measure, G for a measure, and then A for 2 measures. And you might want to have the band just kind of vamp on this for a while. They really get those sounds in their head. Maybe give the drummer something to play with. The most important thing is to get to this point as quickly as possible. Once you have them doing this, they're playing music. Feels good, right? Maybe you add a little bit on your part to what you're doing, just to kind of fill up the harmony. Okay. Intermediate to advanced musicians, you're going to want to have the kids start here. You're going to say, okay, I want to hear everyone play one note, E. You could even... Or wait, no. It says play one note. Let me read this first. Play one note, E. Hide your fretboard if you're playing the guitar. Yeah, so you could kind of get right into their ear training. So you could say you pull up your music stand if you're on guitar, so it's covering the fretboard, and you say, okay, you're playing that note, and you say to them, all right, I want someone in the group to use their ears to find this note. Now, look, they can cheat. They can look at what's going on in your right hand. It's okay. You just kind of want it's creating this game. Okay, so your fretboard's covered. Okay, I want someone to use their ear, find that note, and everyone starts kind of looking for it. And then once you hear a kid playing, Charlie, you got it. What's the name of that note? Right, it's E. Ask the group or volunteer to use their ears to find that. Okay, we already did that step. Let's move on. Then you're going to create a simple 1 to 2 beat phrase with this single note E. In this case, we have the E on beats 1 and 2. Then ask the group or the volunteer to play the note in rhythm with you. So Charlie's going to join me. All right, good. He gets it a couple times, really good. Have a drummer play a beat that fits in with the riff. Okay, so now the drummer's going to play along. And, maybe have everybody come in and do it. So they're going to go bum, 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 bum. You want to quickly get to that point where music is happening. Okay, so then number 7 here, now you're going to play a new note, G. You're going to ask the band to use their ears to find the new note you played. Again, the stand's covering your fretboard. If you're on keys playing it, well, that's great, because then they can't really see what you're doing, or it's not really necessarily relevant to them. Something you could ask is say, hey, guys, the first note is E. Is this new note? Is it going up in pitch, or is it going down? Well, it only can go up. But it doesn't matter. You're still giving them that question. They're going to think, is my new note going up in pitch? It's going up in pitch. And it says add the new note with the rhythm to the riff. Okay, so you maybe say, okay, I want you guys to use your ears, find that note. Everyone starts looking, and you hear Sarah's got it. All right, Sarah, what's the name of that note? She doesn't know. That note's G. What fret is that, Sarah? It's the 3rd fret. Good. What's the name of that note? It's G again, just sort of back and forth. And what's the name of the first note? I forgot. The first note's E. And hey, Sarah, what's the name of the new note? It's G. Good. Okay, so here we got a little bit of a riff now. Looking at number 9, a little bit of a riff that's come together. And then again, you bring the whole band in, and I would just say, okay, the first note's E, the next note's G, and here's how it goes. Get the, drummer doing something. You're going to add another note to fill the riff, and that's going to be A, because they've already heard A. Here's what the whole first measure, what's number 12 says, is ask the band to use their ears to find the new note you played. Right, so you just did that just like the G. Really what I would do is I cover, the fretboard. So guys, here's your first note, E. Here's the new note, G. Now, does this new note sound like it's going up or down? Is it going higher or lower? It's going up higher. Good. With the younger kids, you've already showed them all the notes. I'd still ask them these questions again, because it's forcing them to use their ears. Okay, so we're looking at number 13. Again, you, the teacher, you're going to make up this riff. So it goes like this. Once the band has the 4-count riff, you're going to repeat it. Yeah, you're going to have them all lock in and play with you. right? And you do it a bunch of times. One thing I like to always do is say, guys, we're going to play this 8 times, just so they know how long you're going to sit there and kind of vamp on it. If the group sounds a little shaky when they're playing, guys, we're going to play this or we're going to vamp on it, meaning we're going to repeat it 16 times. I'll do the counting. All right, here we go. 16 times. All right, you get how it goes. Number 15 here. Extend the length of the riff by inserting rest into the second measure. So that first measure is established. Now we're going to insert a rest. And by putting in that rest, it will allow us to stretch out the length of the riff. So now it sounds like this. And again, bring the whole band up and playing. Everybody vamps on it, and they're having a good old time.